give me the rhythm, 'cause I've got a feeling champion song.
Welcome back to the channel, fam. Hi, I'm Lita and I read cards. So let me tell you guys, this is my second time filming this introduction. I started recording the video, I got all into group 1 and the camera stopped and the whole fucking video was gone. So here we are again. So let me start all over because this one had a real intro because I'm doing this video for a friend. So I'm doing this video for a fellow reader. Her name is Geechee Seer. I am going to write her name here so that you all can go and watch her videos if you don't already. But I know a lot of you do. I know a lot of you watch her and me, and that's what's up. I love her channel. I love her readings. They're very creative and original, and she's a great seer. But in the comments, she and I have a lot of conversation, and we hit a conversation about readers having issues reading for themselves. We all do, because you know, you kind of find yourself sometimes seeing what you want to see. If you're dealing off an intuitive ability anyways, and you're picking through the cards and shit, you kind of know the energy as you feel it, and if you want it to be good, you're probably going to pick good, or if you're scared that it's going to be bad, you're probably going to pick bad. And so we often find ourselves reaching out to our other reader friends for them to read us. That's how I end up on my reader friends pages all the time. Yeah, that's how I get my advice. Okay, so here we are. This reading is going to be about moving and or relocating, and should you do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out the cards. I'm going to look at it and see what does it look like if you move and or relocate. If I have any clues about where you should move or relocate to, I will give you that, and then we'll say yes or no depending on what the cards look like. Here are your 3 choices for today. 1, 2, and 3. And while you choose your group, I'm going to take a moment to do my spiel. I want to thank everyone that's come to the channel thus far and has subscribed. You guys are the GOATs. You really have held the page down, and I appreciate you so much. If you find yourself watching this video and you haven't subscribed to my channel as of yet, I ask the same question every video, fam. Why the fuck not? It's free, it's fun, and we getting facts. So just go on and hit the subscribe button, all right? Hopefully you guys have made your decision, because y'all know I'm feeling some type of way that I had to do this fucking intro twice. But the universe does things like that sometimes, so I'm just rolling with it. Roll with me, and we're going to get started with group number 1. Okay, so fam, I want to tell you something real quick. I set up this video for my friend Geechee Seer, and I had all this spiel. I had the piles out, blah 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 blah. I get into group 1's reading. I realize, you know, like there's something that's like, this is not a good move, and all of a sudden the video just cuts off. The video cuts off. There's nothing there. Okay. So I'm going to try to re-record an intro video to this, but I'm just going to start group 1's reading over right now. So yes, your cards are turned over. Yes, I was in the middle of it, but let me start over. And as a matter of fact, let me get me a drink of water, because I don't know what's up with that. All right, group 1. So you're thinking about moving or relocating, and you want to know if it's a good idea, right? Let me tell you what I see. It does not look like a good idea to me. I have the Knight of Swords, which first of all wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing for me, but in this moment the card is telling me that, you know, you had this idea, oh, I'm gonna relocate, I'm gonna move, and it's like you just let this idea just carry you away. Okay, it's not a deeply thought action, deeply planned action. It's not like you had a thought and you thought about it and you thought about it and you thought about it and you plan and now you're taking action. It's just like it came across your mind, it captured you, and you just went all out on this fucking thought. Okay. Because after that I have the Nine of Wands and I have the Fool. Okay. And the Nine of Wands is telling me this is not necessarily the best move for you. And it could be very dangerous, very harmful to you. And the Wands here are telling you you need to protect yourself, right? You need to protect yourself from making rash decisions. Now, the Fool does not most times show up in my readings as a rash decision or a foolish decision, but guess what, guys, today it has, because of the way it came with this Nine of Wands and also the quick action that was over here. All right. Oftentimes you'll hear readers tell you it depends on what a card comes with, what other cards the card is coming with. Is there anything behind that card, right? And this is one of those instances where you guys will get to see it, because normally the Fool card, when it comes out for me, is more about trusting the path, right? And just going and seeing where it takes you. But not today. The bottom three cards are telling me pretty much the same story. I have work and occupation, I have grief and adversity, and I have house, which is this is your new home. What it tells me is when you move to your new home, you will have a hard time finding some sort of work. Not only do you have a hard time finding work, you have a hard time finding new friends. You have a hard time getting the house together also, is what it's telling me. It's like there's something wrong with the house. There's something wrong with the house. The house is showing up at nighttime, which lets me know you don't even have a full view of the home. So, I'm assuming that you see the home, you want the home, but there are issues that are in the dark and you don't figure it out until after you get there. And these issues really weigh you down. It makes it really hard for you to then move forward to someplace else. So group one, I'm going to say moving or relocating is not a good idea for you right now. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed the message, group one. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment down below, good and or bad. And let's move right on into group number two. So group number two, you had this idea that you want to move or relocate. Excuse me, guys. I'm a little dry this morning. Let's see what it looks like if you do. Should you do it? We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Six of Wands. And we have the Hermit. Underneath we have a change. We have high honors. And we have court. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not quite sure why high honors and court are here together in this reading. I need a minute to look. I need a minute to look. The first row is real easy to understand, and I think I understand the second row, but let's just work through it. The first row is telling me, yeah, sure, relocate, get out of town, but there's somebody you need to leave behind, okay? And it's really telling me that you need to be secretive about this move. And I don't think this bottom row is like a separate line that comes after this one. I kind of think this is playing in together as the secondary part of the story that's hidden here. So I broke in there because I wanted you to understand that before I get into it. It's like, yeah, get the hell out of Dodge, but there's someone that you need to leave behind. And when you do, this will be a victorious move, okay? This is one where I feel like you've had the idea and you have been really figuring out how could you make this thought come into existence for real. And we're at that place. The Hermit here to me is just reiterating the fact that this is about you leaving. This is about you alone. You and you alone. This is not about you and a partner. I hate to say it, but my ears are saying, and for some of you, it could even be leaving children behind, not little children, but adult children. It may even be it's time to leave them behind. But in particular, this is more so about maybe a spouse or a business partner, or, you know, or a partner, and y'all have legal ties together. Because you do have the change here. We do have you, and we actually have you relocating. So this one is not just a move. This one is about going someplace. There will be some sort of travel over water. So you are at least crossing a river as far as your relocation goes. This relocation catapults you to a better position for yourself. But it's tied with a court case. I believe that this is about you going solo after a marriage. It really looks like divorcing someone and moving on and getting yourself together. And this is a really good ride for you to do alone. All right. It's almost as if, like, when you make this move alone, some sort of portal opens for you, some sort of doorway opens for you, and all of a sudden you are the center of attention. It becomes your story. It seems like before, the life that you were living, you may have been included kind of in the story, but your life was someone else's story, and you've decided to steal the whole storyline for yourself. It's like, you know, this needs to be about me, and that is really good for you. So group 2, yes, relocation is good for you. Moving is good for you. It should be to at least a different city, at least a city that is separated from where you're from before by a body of water, and disconnecting some sort of legal ties with another person. Okay, so that's going to be your reading, group 2. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment down below, good and or bad, and let's move into our final group, which is going to be group number 3. So group 3, you're thinking about moving or relocating, and you want to know if it's a good idea. Well, let's see what it looks like if you do. We have the Page of Wands. We have the High Priestess. And we have the 3 of Coins. And this is interesting because this looks like group 3 is in opposition of group 2. I'm gonna call this a 1, even though it's not, but I'm gonna call it a 1 because it's a court card, and so it has just the one branch, like a like an ace, and he's just holding the one branch. 1, 2, 3. All right, we have sad news, we have false person, and we have living room. Maybe 3 isn't in opposition of 2. Maybe 3 goes along with 2 in some way for some of you. And for some of you, it won't. But you'll know in a second if yours goes with group 2. Group 3 is about getting away. Okay? Yes, you should move. With the High Priestess being here, and with her being an alien in space, I really believe that group 3 is one of those groups where you'll be moving kind of far away. And it's kind of asking you to. If you look at the Page of Wands here, his feet are rooted. But he's pulling out his roots on this foot. And he's about to pull out of the roots on this one. And there are a lot of eyes on his body. And then we have the high priestess, you know, with all her eyes. What it's telling me is that it is time for you to lift those roots. You may be leaving a town that is a family town, an ancestral town. It could be a town where all of your family lived, okay? But it's time for you to uproot. It's also telling me that you are receiving guidance and help from an outside influence, meaning non-human influence, if you will. But I do have the 3 of coins here, okay, which is saying to me, just because of the way it's more baby heads on the card here, and this is a child. It's like you and the kids need to move. You and the kids need to uproot and pull away from the rest of the family. You'll be able to hold them down, but you need to know that the move starts off in a somber mood. You know, you're really sad. You really are walking away from people that you love as well. But in particular, they want you to focus on the fact that there is someone who is a villain in your story that you are walking away from. When you walk away from them, then we find ourselves in the comfy living room, okay? And this house is really beautiful. The walls are green, which is letting me know that things are very calm. We have dragons on the floor, which makes me believe that this move is lucky. Group 2 was about leaving someone behind and sneaking and doing it. With this false person here, I am also getting that same vibe of just planning it, but not letting everyone know and just disappearing, like, you know, like sneaking off in the middle of the night type of shit. But this one, in the last group, I wasn't quite sure if you had children or not. And should you be walking away from your children if they're your adult children. But in this one, it's kind of telling me that if you have children, your children definitely are going with you, but you all need to get away from someone in particular. And it could just be you need to get away from your ancestral grounds altogether. And it does feel like your ancestors are actually asking you to move away from there, get away from there, set down some new roots someplace else. So, like I said, group 3, you may want to watch group 2. But this is a yes move. This is a yes move, and things will settle down once you get to where you're going. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this reading, group 3. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment down below, good and or bad. And that's going to conclude today's reading. Child, let me put these piles together and refilm my intro again, because Woden's Day, Woden's Day. I hope you guys have a good Woden's Day. I love you all. Bye. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a wonderful day. See you next time.